Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video I am going to visit the AMA application form, and then I'll equally look at the recommendation. I will be responding to a message that was left by somebody on my YouTube channel. The person has a problem with filling out the application form and then with filling out the recommendation, and then the person equally has a problem with the number of recommendation letters. So here we will be looking at those questions, so please stick around. So it says, can you please explain how we supposed to fill the application form online? Also, I'm confused because in guidelines they say we need 3 recommendation letters, and when I saw the form it has only one section for recommendation letter and recommenders information. So how are we supposed to paste 3 recommendation letters? Okay, so the first thing is that the online application has not yet started. Online application will begin on the 30th of May and will run right up to the 10th of June. And the next thing is that you are supposed to prepare your documents, get every necessary documents ready, and then when the online application will start on the 30th, you first have to apply online, and once you are accepted, that's when you can submit the documents that you've already prepared. But do not let this discourage you. Don't feel as if you might prepare your documents and then you don't get accepted. I'm saying this because in less than 3 months, other scholarships will come up and you can still use the documents that you would notarized for those applications. So don't let this discourage you. Prepare your documents, and then when the online application will begin on the 30th of May and then will run for like less than 2 weeks, the results will come out. Once the results are out, you already have your documents handy. All you need to do is just post them to the address that is found on the application guideline. So we will go through the application form and then we'll see how it goes from there. So on Google we have to type AMA+scholarship. So this is the Korea National University of Arts website, the official website, and you will see AMA+ admission here. So what is of importance to us is the 2023 AMA+ application guideline form. This is a document in Word form, but I don't want to use that. I'll go to the 2023 AMA+ application guideline form. This is the PDF version. I'll use the PDF version because I want to use the pen. Just before we continue, there is a video that I made in April about AMA scholarship where it had like the total scholarship benefits. You might want to click the link up there and then watch it. This is the document. It says Hanguk Yesu Junghab Hakyo 2023 AMA+ Arts Major Asian Plus Jangakseng Sombal Aship Yogang Korea National University of Arts 2023 AMA+ Major Asian Plus Scholarship Admission Guide. So this is the admission guide, but the admission guide has every document that is needed to apply for this scholarship. So sorry, unfortunately I'm in a coffee shop and I guess there's like noise. I don't know if you guys are still able to hear me audibly because there's like music playing overhead and there's nothing I can do. Unfortunately I'm studying here and I just decided to like do this quick video. On page 25 you have the application form. So this is the application form. It says scholarship application form here. Here is the personal information. Family name, you have to write down your family name. Everybody has a family name, I guess. And then you have other names like your given names. You write them down here. Up here is a family name, and then date of birth, year, month, and the day. And then it says your passport. You have to write down your passport number, and then write down your nationality, your country of birth. That's your nationality here. And then expiration date is the date of expiration of your passport. You write it down here, and then you have to include a passport size photograph here. And then next it says sex, male or female. If you have any other, you can like indicate there. Then marital status, are you single or are you married? You have to write it down here. And then next one is your contact, mobile phone number. You have to indicate first your country code, like plus, I don't know, and then the phone number. And then you equally have to indicate your email address. And then here is JUSO address, like house address. So it begins first with the city in which you're found, the city in which you live at, and then the next one is the country in which you live, and then you have your postal code that you have to include here. So that's for number one, personal information. Number two, applying department major. So for those who are applying for a BA, that means you just graduated from a high school, you have to indicate BA, undergraduate. For those who are applying for a master's program, which means you've just graduated from a bachelor's degree, you have to indicate AMA, graduate program. And then you have to indicate the school where the program you want to apply for is, and then the department where that program is, and then now this is the program or the major that you want to apply for at the National University of Arts in Korea. And then here is your last degree. If you just graduated from high school and you're seeking to apply for a bachelor's degree, you have to indicate the degree that you graduate with at the high school level. If you've just graduated with a bachelor's degree, you have to indicate that you just had your bachelor's degree, maybe Bachelor of Arts or maybe Bachelor of Science. That's what you have to write here. And then mother tongue is your language. If you speak English, you have to indicate English. If you speak French, you have to indicate French. If you speak Korean, you have to indicate Korean. Of course, Koreans are not included in the scholarship. So the next one now is Korean proficiency. So here you have to indicate topic, and then you have to indicate the score. Maybe you had 125 on 200, and then you have to indicate level 3, just as it is written down here. You have indications down there. And then the next one is English proficiency. Did you write TOEFL? Did you write IELTS? Did you write TOEIC? You have to indicate that you wrote one of these exams. And then the next one, number 3, is document submission checklist. It has to be checked. So you have to provide a personal statement, you have to provide a study plan, you have to provide medical assessment, 3 recommendation letters, 3 portfolio, that is your like the artistic jobs, that if you're a singer, maybe you have songs that you've sung, you have to provide them maybe in the CD or DVD. If you are, maybe you've done visual design, you have like some drawings that you've done, maybe 10, 20, 30 of them, you have to provide them. And then if you have them handy, you have to indicate that you have them available. And then degree certificate that you've already notarized, you have to indicate that you already have it ready. It's in your file of documents that you will send to South Korea. Your transcript that you've already notarized. And then your topic document, English language document, that is the TOEFL, IELTS and TOEIC. If you have one of them, you have to indicate they have to be available, and then you have to check them that they are available and they are ready. If you go to number 4, it's your educational information. It says below, listed degree, diploma, certificates should be submitted with apostilles. It means they have to be notarized, they have to be legalized. So graduate, the first section here is for high school students. This box is for high school students. So you have to indicate high school here, and then the year that you attended the high school, that you started the high school, the month, and then the date. Next one is the year, month, date of graduation. So let's assume that high school is 2 years. This is 2022. Let's assume that you went to high school in 2020 January 1st. So you have to write 2020 January 1st. Then you graduated 2022 January 1st. And then the name of the high school, and then the major that you studied, and then the location. Let's say this is South Africa, so you would write Durban, South Africa. The location, the school is in Durban and the country is South Africa. Then the next one is, maybe if you want, you can include secondary school here. Same information. Secondary school, year that you started, year that you ended before going to high school, and the name of the secondary school, the major, the city where it's located, and the country. Please, if you think you're finding value in this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and then hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future video. And remember, since I'm in South Korea, I always provide information about South Korea. I equally provide a bit of tips on how to study Korean language and have some basic knowledge on Korean language. It is important that before you make that move to any university in Korea or to any country, you have a knowledge of the country, so that you don't get here and have some like cultural shock because you did not study about the country. It's always nice to have an idea about the country that you're traveling to. So I always provide information on that, and then I will be making some short reels on how to study some basic Korean language. So you might want to subscribe so that you don't miss out on those type of information. Number 4 is for graduate applicants. So you have to indicate the name of the university that you attended, the major that you studied, and is it a bachelor's degree or is it a master's degree. You have to indicate, and then indicate if it's a private university owned by an individual or it's a public university like a national university owned by the government. And then you have to indicate, is it a university or is it a college, and the number of years that you spent in the university or college. Is it 2 years or is it 4 years? You have to indicate that. And then the number 5 is academic transcript. Based on the way the grading is done, you have to follow your transcript and then do the grading. For high school here, and then for university, you do the grading based on the year and your scores. Portfolio number 6. So like I said, if you are a singer, you know how to sing, you provide a DVD or a CD, and then maybe you have 10 copies of those DVDs with different songs. You have to indicate that there are 10, and then maybe the titles of the songs, and then now the years that those songs were produced, the year, the month, and the day of each song. Okay, so you list them down here. In case you have 10 but you cannot list them, indicate 10 and then fill out. Since you will provide the document, you provide the DVD, they would discover it for themselves. The next one is number 7, language proficiency. So the first one is Korean language, topic. This is official Korean government test of Korean language proficiency. You have to indicate the score and then the level. Is it level 3? You indicate level 3. The year, the month, and the date that you took the test, that you sat for the test. And then which level again? Level 3 or is it level 6? you have to indicate. And then the next one is English language. Which test of English language did you take? Is it TOEIC? Is it TOEFL? Is it IELTS? You have to indicate. And then what was your score? Was it 6, 7, 8? That's in the case of IELTS. And then the year, the month, the day that you sat for the exams. And then now it's going to be same thing, score 6, 7, or maybe 8. Indicate there. Any other extra exams that you might have taken. Maybe you have IELTS and you have TOEFL. You could indicate down here that you have TOEFL and you fill out the information. If you have IELTS will occupy this space. And then now, this will answer the second question about recommendation letters. List of recommendation. So here it says full name, position, organization, phone number, email. So let's say the first recommender is James. So let's say James Peter something, like your professor or your high school teacher has a name, has names, not just one name. So you fill out his full names here. This is just for an example. So what is the position that he occupies in your high school? Is he just a teacher at the level of those who've had their bachelors? Is he a lecturer? Is he a dean plus lecturer? You have to indicate. The organization is the name of the high school or name of the university for those who have bachelor. And then maybe his office phone number or mobile phone number. And then his email, maybe his university email or the private email. It can be Gmail, whatever. So the next one, maybe the person's name is Peter. So you have to indicate, is he a teacher for those who just graduated for high school? Is he a lecturer for those who just graduated with their BA or BS? And then the name of the high school or university, his phone number, university or private email. The next one could be, what name should we use here? John. So you have to indicate the position that John holds in the high school or the university, the organization, the high school name or the university's name. Phone number could be office number or his private phone number, and then either university email or his private email. And then the next one is number 9. Number 9 is career awards. Have you received any award? Maybe in high school you were the best student, you had an award for that. You have to indicate the date that you received the award, the name of the high school, or the position that you occupied that gave you that award, and maybe any note that will explain the award. And then if you did high school, you had the award, and then went to the university, equally had an award. You have to indicate the date of the award, the name of the university, what was that award that you received, and maybe some message to explain the award. Now this is family information. You have to provide your family information, maybe your father, name of your father, date of birth, address and phone number, his level of education and profession, like work, place name, maybe mother, brother, if you provide those information. And then you have to sign here with the date, that's year, month, day, your name, and then your signature to prove that you've provided true information. None of the information is faulty. Okay, the next one now is personal statement. You'd fill out your personal statement. Now I'll go to the recommendation letters. Okay, so here on page 35 you have letter of recommendation. So take note, on this first section it says applicant. It means a person applying to come and study in South Korea. So you would write down your full names here, your nationality, your country of birth, and then the program you want to apply for, and then the school where that program is, the department, and then the major. And then this one says current or last school. It means if you are in the high school and you're about to graduate, you have to give the name of the high school. If you are doing your BA or maybe BS, your bachelor's, and you're about to graduate, so you're applying pending graduation, you have to indicate the name of the school, the university. So it's either the name of the high school or the name of the university that you're about to graduate from. And then down here now it says recommender. Recommender here is supposed to be one, your high school teacher, for those who are applying for a BA or for BA here in the university here in Korea. For those who've already had their BA or BS back home and they now want to apply for a graduate program in Korea, they would have to look for their university lecturers or professors. The university lecturer or professor will have to fill out this form, not the student. From down here, going down, it's your high school teacher or your university's professor who will fill out this information with his title, the position that he holds in the high school or university, the name of the university, his or her personal email or university email, and then the address of the school, and then his phone number or office phone number, and then how long he has known you. For those who are in the high school, I guess high school is 2 years, so he will say I've known this student for 2 years. For those applying for master's program, if the undergraduate was 4 years, he would say I've known this student for 4 years. So there shouldn't be any confusion here. So basically down here is the person recommending you that will sign, and up here is the student that will fill out this information and then hand the form to his high school teacher or his or her university teacher to fill the bottom part of the form. So next, the teacher or the professor in the university will have to assess the applicant's qualities in the evaluation table below by using a check sign. So he would have to talk about your academic achievement. What does he think? Does he think academically you're good? He'll have to say either you're good or maybe you're excellent. Excellent means you're the best, super. And then he'll have to say maybe if you're average or below. And then future academic, does he think that in the future, since you're going to study, will you be able to perform well? He has to indicate if you perform excellent or good, average, or maybe below. Integrity and responsibility. Do you have some integrity? Do you have responsibility? What does he think? Is it excellent, good, average, or below? Independence. Can you work independently? Or do you always need help from others to succeed? He will have to evaluate if independence, your independence at work, if you can work independently. If it's excellent, he will have to indicate excellent. If he thinks it's good, he would have to say good. Average or below average, he has to say that. And then creativity and originality. They have to tell the school that you're applying to if you're very creative, if you can produce original things rather than copy from others. He has to say if you are excellent at being creative, you can imagine things and then make them happen. So he has to say if you will be excellent at that. He has to equally say if you will be good or average or maybe below. And then going down, communication skill. Do you communicate well? Can you talk well with people, or are you shy? So he has to indicate if you're excellent or good, average, or below average. Interpersonal skills, he has to equally indicate. And then leadership. Are you able to lead? Can you lead others? Are you excellent? Are you good? Are you average? In most cases, everybody will want their recommenders to indicate that they are excellent, so that it will give them a better chance to succeed. Okay, so that's it. as far as this section is concerned. And then if you go down, it says please provide us with comments on the applicant's performance record, potential, personal qualities. So your high school teacher or your BA lecturer or university professor has to write something down here about you, what he thinks about your performance record, potential, or personal qualities. He has to give that information, and then the date that he filled this information that is up here, he has to write the year, the month, and then the date as it is indicated here. And then he has to write down his full names, and then he has to sign down here. So basically here is the first person, James. We had 3 recommenders. I think it was James, John, and Peter, if I'm not mistaken. You can check, verify. We already talked about that. So the student will have to fill this. You remember, you have to print out this recommendation letter 3 times, 3 copies of this recommendation letter. You fill out the top section where it says applicant. You submit it to the first person who will recommend you. You fill out the second one and submit it to John, who would recommend you. Fill out the third one and give it to Peter, who would recommend you. And then after they must have filled out the document, what they have to do is they have to look for the university or the high school official envelope that carries the university's logo or mark. They have to put the letter inside, seal it, and then hand it to the student, so that the student will then include it in his envelope that he would be sending to South Korea. So the first recommender, John, will do the same, put it in this university's envelope and hand it to the student. John will do it, Peter will do it, and then hand it to the student. That's how it's supposed to work. So there shouldn't be any confusion that there's just one. There's one because you would print 3 different copies, fill out the top section where it says applicant, and then hand it to the person who is supposed to recommend you. You fill the second one where it says applicant, hand it to the second person who is supposed to recommend you. You fill the third one, hand it to the third person who is supposed to recommend you, and then you add it to the other documents that are in the checklist, and then send it to South Korea for application. So I think that should answer your question. Remember, like I said, admission opens on the 30th of May and then will end on the 10th of June. What you need to do is prepare these documents and then wait for the online admission to start. You would have to apply first online, and then after you must have been granted admission, that's when you will send these documents to South Korea. So don't worry too much about applying online. When the time will come, you would apply online. And secondly, try not to worry about not succeeding. Try. Those who fail are people who do not try first. Even if you fail the first time, keep on trying. Those who don't succeed in life are those who give up. So don't give up on your application. Keep on trying. Keep on attempting. I'll see you in the next video.